All right, this is section 3.4, quadratic inequalities. To start, we are only going to solve from a graph, okay? Let's check to see what we need to know. So remember first y equals f of x. That means f of x is a value of y. Okay, that means when we say f of x equals 0, that's exactly where y equals 0, which is on the x-axis. If you look at any point on the x-axis like this one, that's negative 3, 0, negative 2, 0, negative 1, 0. So notice every time I say some value of x and then y is 0. Or over here, 2, 0, or 1, 0, or 3, 0. All right. So y is 0 right here. You can also read the y-axis as a number line. The negatives are down here. 0 is right there. And 0 is all the way across horizontally. The value of y is 0. The same for every other value, right? So 1 is y is equal to 1 all the way across. At 2, y is equal to 2 all the way across. Okay, as an example, if we look at this point over here, that's the point 4 comma 2. The value of y is 2. All right. And similarly, f of x is greater than 0, where y is greater than 0, which is above the x-axis, and we just saw an example of that. And on the point 4, 2, that's above the x-axis, and every point there has a value of y greater than 0. And f of x is less than 0, where y is less than 0, that's below the x-axis. Okay? So, let's look at this example first. So when they ask us to solve f of x equals 0, that means where are the points where y equals 0 on the graph. Okay, so if we look at the graph, y will be 0. This is y equals 0 right here, all the way across. But on the graph, it's these 2 points. Yeah. Now remember, we're solving an equation in x, so therefore we answer x equals whatever values. There's only 2. So we would answer those 2 values, 1 or x equals 3. Okay, x equals 1 or x equals 3. Let me zoom in a little bit here so we can see a little better. Okay, there we go. All right, what about f of x less than 0? That's like saying where is y less than 0? Now remember, it's on the graph because we're looking at f. On the graph, well, y is less than 0 below the x-axis. Okay, and below the x-axis, the points on the graph are right here. Now remember, we're solving for x. I'm going to shade that in red. Here's my shading. This is number B. Okay, so I've color-coded it in red, and I've shaded it in red over here. Now we have to answer values of x, so the values of x are listed right there. They're the values from 1 to 3. And we just need to check, do we include 1 or 3? And because there's no equal sign there, then we don't include 1 or 3. So it's the values from 1 to 3, not including 1 or 3. And that is an interval, right? From 1 to 3, all those x values. All right. Where's f of x greater than or equal to 0? Well, I'm going to shade where the graph is above 0. Here's 0. And here, this way. And we know that these keep going forever, right? Forever and ever and ever. And then also on the other side, this way, starting at the point there, at the x-intercept, and it keeps going forever and ever, right? Forever and ever. Now, remember, we're answering values of x. So we have to come down here, and I'm going to shade the values of x that belong to these points up here. And I'm going to shade the values of x that belong to these points up here. Now remember, it keeps going forever and ever and ever and ever. That means this graph would actually keep going forever and ever and ever. Ever and ever and ever and ever. Okay? All right. So, what does that mean? Well, there's 2 places where f of x is greater than or equal to 0. There's this interval, and then there's this interval. Don't forget, it keeps going forever and ever. So this interval, don't forget, you read from negative to positive, from left to right. So the left endpoint is negative infinity. The right endpoint is 1. So negative infinity to 1. And then do we include the 1? Well, we ask the problem that says greater than or equal to, yes, we include the 1. Union. And then the other interval from 3 to positive infinity, including the 3, right? Because of the equal sign. Okay, so There's two more examples, and we're going to do those in class. Okay, the other two examples, they're the same kind of stuff. We'll do those in class. This is the end of section 3-4.